Good afternoon and welcome to the Divine Mind. Today we're going to talk about focus and how to make it work for you. I know you've been told over and over again that all you got to do is just pray, meditate, speak it into the atmosphere, all these different things like that, and it will materialize in your life. I'm sorry to tell you, but it just doesn't happen that way. You see, everything that happens in your life is because you did send out a thought, a prayer, a meditation, and energy went out, but then it was followed up by action. Now, the type of action that follows it is determining upon what's going to come back to you. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that you may start your day thinking that you're going to have a great day. You may start your day thinking that you're going to have a great relationship. You may start your day thinking that work is going to be awesome, that business is going to be great, that you're going to achieve certain things. But then as you start your day, something happens and it changes your actions. So now your actions don't match the focus, the idea, the thought, the words that you spoke earlier. And so what you get back is the complete opposite of what you believed that you were going to have. You see, this happens so often in our lives. It happened to me when I was 12 years old. I wanted to become a pitcher. See, I was a great catcher, but now I wanted to change and I wanted to become a pitcher. So I asked my grandfather, can you help me to become a great pitcher? Because my grandfather, he loved baseball and he understood the mechanics of baseball. Although he was not a great baseball player himself, I knew that he knew enough about it to get me there. So you got to first go find somebody who can help you get to where you want to be. It doesn't matter if they've achieved it or not. They just need to know how to do it. Sometimes people have the mechanics to do something that they themselves may not be able to do. Look at most NBA coaches. They cannot play in the NBA. Look at most football coaches. They can't play in the NFL. But they know the mechanics to get their athletes there. So you need to find somebody who knows the mechanics, whether you got to pay them or not, to get you to the goal, to get you to the finish line, to help you remain focused in constant consultation to make sure you get there. So seek out that help, and I seeked out that help from my grandfather. So he gave me the mechanics. He told me to paint, take a piece of wood, paint that square of the strike zone. And then he showed me the mechanics of the curveball and the mechanics of a fastball. And so I worked on that thing. I worked on it for 2-3 weeks. Now, after that time frame, I went to my coach and I said, Coach Kenny, I've been working on this, on a curveball and a fastball, and I want to become a pitcher. And he said, well, let me see what you got. So you got to go and you got to seek out that opportunity. You got to come to your mate and say, I've been working on myself so that we can have a great relationship. And now I want to put these mechanics, these things I've been working on into place. I've been working on my finances. So now I understand how to maintain a good credit score and how to build my credit and how to save money and how to invest money. And now it's time for me to put it into practice because I've had that help to get me there. So you got to put those things in. You got to go out and ask for that opportunity and put those things into play. So Coach Kenny gave me that opportunity. So when he did, I showed him initially that I had the foundations to do it. So once you show that you have the foundation, then he said, okay, I'm going to let you pitch the first 3 innings of the next game. I was excited. You see, when you ask for that opportunity and then when you're giving it, now you got to go and show and prove. See, you ask for that mate in your life, and then when you get married, now you got to show and prove. Just because you got the opportunity to be married doesn't mean that now you don't have to continue to show and prove. Now that you've got that job opportunity, that promotion, you don't just sit back. Now you got to show and prove. Okay, so you got to show and prove that you're ready for this thing, that you can do it on a consistent basis by making sure that you are following suit on those mechanics and getting better and better and better. So Coach Kenny gave me that opportunity. So the next game, I stood up to the plate, and the first batter gets up there, and I hit him. I hit him with the ball. The very first pitch, I hit the batter. So sometimes when you get that opportunity, the first time you step out there, you may run up against some opposition. So I ran up against the opposition. I hit the batter. So then the next batter get up, and I hit that batter as well. And I'm starting to think to myself, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I chose the wrong path. And you're going to have that doubt comes in when all of a sudden that thing that you thought that you wanted, that you prayed about, that you meditated on, that you practiced, and you got the mechanics, and you got the coach, and things aren't working out. Maybe this isn't for me. And then you start that scapegoatism that says that maybe the door's being shut. Maybe this really isn't for me. Do you think that you would go through all that process just to find out that it's not for you? No, maybe there's something else. So the third batter gets up. Now I'm overly concerned and I know that things are going to go wrong. So what happens? I hit that batter as well. So I'm standing on the mound and I'm crying, and the next batter is already crying because he thinks that I'm going to hit him. And then my grandfather yells out, you're going to finish what you started. Remember your mechanics. You're not going against the batter. You're going against the strike zone. You got the square. Focus on the square. So my mind goes to the square. And just like I remember vividly, Michael Jordan was welcoming Dikembe Mutombo to the NBA, and he closed his eyes and shot a free throw. Why? Because he'd done it so many times he could see the basket. I could see the square. So for the next 9 pitches, I struck out the next 3 batters. Why? Because my focus was on the square and my actions followed suit. I made sure that my actions were geared towards that square, was hitting that strike zone over and over again. Whether it was a curveball, whether it was a fastball, it didn't matter. I was hitting that strike zone and I struck 3 batters out. What's the difference is that I wasn't paying attention to the distraction. See, beforehand, when the batter stepped up, I started looking at the batter. You know, you have an issue in your relationship, you start looking at the issue and not looking at the fix or the person or how you're going to make this change. You start having an issue in your business, at work, you start looking at the issue and not looking at the solution, and start moving towards the solution and focusing your energies and your efforts on the solution, on obtaining that thing that you want. No, you're focused on who's the next president instead of focusing on how can you increase your finances. You're focused on what happened in another city, another state, instead of focusing on what's going on in your city, in your state. Your focus is somewhere else, and your energy and your efforts are going towards that instead of going toward what it is that you truly want in life. So if what you truly want in life is a successful relationship, then focus on the things that make you a successful person in the relationship and makes them successful in that relationship as well. If you want to have successful kids, focus on the things that makes each individual child successful in their lives and what they need in order to achieve that. Do the same in work, do the same in business, do the same in every aspect of your life. Focus on what gives you great health, not what gives somebody else great health, but what gives you great health. If you do this over and over again consistently, committing to actions that bring about your desired result, then your life becomes successful because you are great and you are awesome, and this is life for you. So it's up to you to take it, grab it by the horns. I became a pitcher. You can become whatever you choose to become because your greatness is non-negotiable, and so is mine.